to the Gem Jar. Thank you so much for tuning in. Before we start, I have to do this little spiel. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff, and follow at _ the Gem Jar on Instagram. Okay, so today we are discussing self-love. It's a big one, seriously. So I've seen some, some little YouTube videos where people do like their 10 tips. So today I decided to give you guys my 10 tips for self-love. Number 1, appreciate yourself where you are. Yeah, right in that moment, right there. Okay, so the thing about appreciating yourself where you are is that a lot of times we think about where we want to be. And every time we think about where we want to be, we are not allowing ourselves to live in the very present moment and be like so grateful for being here, so happy for being alive. Like there's so much we could really think about that could help us to appreciate ourselves where we are. And a lot of times, like say for instance, we want like, a good example is when people, try to lose weight or go on like a health journey and they think about the end goal. But instead, they really could think about where they are right now and what they love about themselves to like generate so much positivity that will really like push you into where you want to be. But if you surround that moment with like, oh, I don't like how I look, oh, I don't want to do this, that kind of really negates what you're trying to do. So appreciating yourself where you are in the present moment is so, so key. Number 2, live in the now. It's literally just like the first one, but it's allowing yourself to have memories. If you're always thinking about another moment, how are you going to remember what you ever did? Like you're literally never present. And like, how would people feel when they're talking to you if you're not present? Think about that one. But yeah, I think it's really important to live in the now, to give people your full attention when you're talking and interacting, to really be thoughtful and think about how you really feel. Like this is self-love. Like, how do I feel right now? How can I radiate that outwardly? Like there's so many questions we could ask ourselves, and living in the now allows you to really assess that. Number 3, give yourself grace. That's a big one, okay? Because people always give grace outward. But to really send grace inward is a big, big deal. It took me so long to give myself grace in areas where I wanted to be perfect. I wanted all A's. I wanted to be the best dancer at LaGuardia High School. Shout out to the Fame School. Love y'all. I wanted to do all the things that I felt would make me feel fulfilled, but I didn't realize that those were like outward things that I was putting on myself. Like you want all A's because then people would think you're smart. You don't really want all A's because it does anything for you. Me. I had to realize that. Maybe it's different for you. I don't know. But I just think that like giving myself grace in those moments where I was not perfect, it literally allowed me to just like muster up the courage to be so in love with my process and not the end goal. And that process is like, wow, you just sucked. That was really bad. You good though. It's good though. Like beautiful moments when you can give yourself grace. The next one is number 4, feel what you feel. Now let's discuss this. This is big. Feeling what you feel is really important, because a lot of times we try to dismiss what we feel because we don't want to make somebody else uncomfortable. But what that's doing is making it comfortable for somebody else to make you uncomfortable. What is that? Wow, that was a gem. It just dropped. Where is it at? I wish I'd drop it. Okay. And I'm just like, it took me a really long time in life to realize like you are making people comfortable with making you uncomfortable, with disrespecting your time, with treating you like you don't want to be treated. Like all these things are so important because you have to feel what you feel. You have to sit in it and say, I'm upset. Why am I upset? They're late. Okay. Like, what does that feel like? How can I make sure that this doesn't happen to me again? Do I communicate? when you do X, it makes me feel X. So like, what are the things I need to do for me to show myself that love and to respect myself and to make it a trend for people to also show me love. So I have to show myself love so somebody else can show me love. If I'm on time, they're gonna realize that like, my friends are literally right now looking like, when is she ever on time? Whatever. That's not the point. The point is that like, you just have to be able to figure out what it is that you need, whether it be being on time, whether it be, I don't know, being present, whatever it is. You have to figure out what it is, and you have to feel what you feel so that you're able to just be like, you know what? This is what I feel. This is how I'm going to fix it. This is how I'm going to show myself love. The next one, number 5, shift your perspective. So I listened to Alicia Keys' 10 Tips for Self-Love, and this is one that hit me and I will never, ever forget it. She has a song called Show Me Love, and she was like, you know, what about if we listen to love songs and we sing them to ourselves? And I was like, you always singing about somebody else. You always like loving somebody else. But like, what if you really were just like singing to your own spirit and just loving on yourself? Like, that's crazy to me. And it has shifted my perspective in a major way. Whew. Thanks, Alicia. We love that. The next one is number 6. Put God first. You know, faith is a topic that some people, you know, everybody has their own opinions on faith and spirituality, and I love all of that because I feel like it just connects you to who you really, really are. And when you put God first, what has happened for me specifically is that I started seeing myself the way God sees me. And that was my prayer, you know, God, help me to see me the way you see me. I think about the things that God has done for me in my life, and it's like, he has to love me to do this. Like, to be here, to be talking with you guys. Like, he has to love me enough to allow me to. So putting God first has helped me to see myself and in turn to love myself. The next one, actually, no, that was 2 in 1. Put God first, ask him to see myself the way he sees me. The next one, number 8, is the practice of gratitude. So people talk about gratitude all the time, but I think they don't speak about it from the perspective of the fact that it's a practice. Like, it's not just I'm grateful for. Sometimes you have to really force yourself to find what it is that you are grateful for. So I like to, leave Post-it notes or just like send some thank you notes to like God, the universe, myself, my mom, my dad, whoever, and just be grateful, like to extend gratitude outward, but also that outward gratitude allows me to then like in turn send it back to myself. Like, Mom, I'm grateful for you giving me some food to eat today. Wow, this food is good. You just nourished yourself. Wow, I'm glad. Like, it's just all these things that allow you to then return love back to yourself. If you can give love out, you can also turn it back and give it to yourself. So I sometimes tell myself like, body, thank you. You know, like, thank you for holding it down. We are fully in COVID-19 and like you've been holding it down, and I thank you. Hair, thank you for growing. Oh my God, yes. Like, you were giving me bangs yesterday. They were so long. I love that. Skin, thank you for clearing up and not just like going crazy on me every time I get stressed. Like, those are the self-love things you can do to really just uplift yourself, vibrate higher, and then, you know, everything kind of works together for your good. The next one is get to know yourself. Whoa. I think I was like in my 20s already when I realized I had no idea who I was. And that's a scary place to be because it's just like, okay, I know I like pink. That's my favorite color. I know what schools I went to. I know how those things shape my life. But like, who I really am at my core, that did not come until I was in my 20s, that I started to realize it and identify it. And I think once you start to do that, that's when you can like find love for those things. Like, if you know you're like super loud sometimes when you're with your friends, or I don't know, super internal, introverted. You could be, let me think about what I am. You could be a Gemini, and you could be both. Uh-oh. And that is like something you have to learn to love about yourself. And I think that Gemini piece is something for me that I was like, I don't know how to handle this. Everyone says we're two-faced and moody and all these things. But really, I think it's just there's a duality of who you are and how you interact and what, you know, comes out of you. And so learning to love that and be like, yep, I'm not in the mood. That's fine. And being like, yeah, I'm ready to party. Like, that's also great. And you have to realize that, like, you gotta show yourself that love and just get to know yourself so you can love yourself. And the last one, number 10. This is big, this is deep, but I gotta do it to you. You have to forgive yourself. You know, nobody is perfect, and I think we all like live in a world that like wants you to strive to be amazing things. And there's gonna be days where you just don't feel like it. And for me, I've had many of those, many of the I wanna go to sleep, I'm not interested, many of the, you know, why is this happening to me? Why is that happening to me? The sky is falling, whatever. But I think when I started to do things, I would get down on myself for like having those days. And I would be frustrated with like, why am I not motivated all the time? Why am I not ready to do this? Like, why, you know? But what I realized is that when I started to forgive myself for being unmotivated, for being upset, for holding a grudge, like whatever it is, I was able to free myself into love for myself. Like, that is so human. And sometimes I think knowing that, forgiving yourself, and then returning grace, returning love, returning honesty to yourself is the best thing you can do to get to know yourself, to practice gratitude, to live in the now, all the things that we talked about. So those are my 10 tips for self-love. And my hope is that among these gems, you find something that you need. XOXO.